YouTube, what's good? Chavis Crew, what's happening? What's the Chavis Crew? My family. And you guys are an extension of that. I'm here tapping in with you guys with a different style of video today on how to turn your passion into a business. So I'm going to start with a little backstory about myself and how I got into my basketball training company. So I started playing basketball throughout high school. I played Division I basketball at Morehead State for college. And I played a couple years pro overseas as well. And I came to a crossroads. I met my wife, my son was on the way, and I was trying to figure out, what am I going to do next? I didn't grow up in a family where, we learned about being a CEO. We learned about, being your own business owner. So I had no information up front, but I still made it happen. When I came to that crossroads, I ultimately came down to the decision that I wanted to be a basketball skills trainer. It wasn't or isn't still as popular of a business. It's still considered as a new business. And, it wasn't a lot of information that I could look up about it. So I reached out to people and, people gave me, they gave me some good insight. They gave me some good wisdom on, how they started and things of that nature. But there was no real detailed information for me to learn how to start my basketball training company. So for me, I just ended up winging it. And it ended up working. God ended up placing people around me to help me and to groom me. He placed this guy named CJ McGill, who ended up being, everything as far as the business side. He's the one that taught me how to do the LLC and to file for different things and to, let me know about taxes and things that I could write off and things of that nature. So he was a very helpful piece for me without having any information, or me myself without having any information up front about any type of business. I just knew what I wanted to do. And I was working really hard at being a really good trainer, but I definitely wanted to make sure that, I was able to turn this into an actual business, a profitable business that I could, possibly one day leave down to my son. So I'm going to be giving you guys a series of videos that's going to really break down how I did it, how I structured my business, how I did my own marketing, how I do my own video content, and how to make that quality. But just a whole bunch of different pointers that, nobody was able to give me, but I want to be able to give it to you guys. And my first point is develop a plan. Use what you have, just get started. You don't need a certificate. You don't need a license to be a basketball skills trainer. It's a fairly new business, but my thing is just develop a plan and just go for it. There's no really set manual or set script on each step, to be successful, but you can't be successful if you don't start. So just start. And I know one of the first questions that are asked is, how much does it cost to do this? How much does it cost to do that? Your average gym rental price will be about $25 to $50 per hour. I suggest, you try to find a gym, within your budget, within your price range that, that you can still make money on top of what you're doing. Let's say you have an individual workout and you charge $40 per hour. You're making $15 each session. But don't be afraid to take a loss. Don't be afraid to break even. That is just gonna happen at the beginning of this journey, man. And some people get lucky, some people get blessed, and some people are more fortunate than others, man. But you have to stay focused on the end goal. You have to take small steps toward what you really want to do and what you really want to become as this new business owner. You also can do small group sessions as well. Let's say you charge 4 guys $15. That's $60. Your gym rental is what, $25. You're making $35 a session. 35 times 4 is what, $140? You're making $140 a month extra on top of what you're already doing, and you're just doing this part-time. So, you really can make money doing this, man. You just gotta really lock in and market yourself the right way, and you can make it happen. Also, when it comes to pricing, look at your competition. See what your competition is charging for their workouts, what they're charging for their individual workouts, what they're charging for their skills, their group training workouts. I mean, look around and set your price somewhat according to the market. And my second point is very critical. Promote yourself. Promote yourself relentlessly. Start your social media accounts. I would have everything. I would have a TikTok. I would have an Instagram. I would have a Twitter. I would have a Facebook. and, really spend time, effort, and money on your social media and growing that. Because the more you grow your social media, the more people believe in what you're doing. That's just the way everything works. The most popular people are usually the most credible people, or usually, they have the most quality. So, growing your social media accounts will be really good as far as marketing and, really getting your work out there so people can find you, so people can, see, what you have going on. So I would definitely suggest really taking time and knowing how important it is to be really big on social media. Maybe not the biggest, but growing a great following on social media is really important these days, when it comes to marketing. And it's free. For the most part, it's free. I know, sometimes when you're trying to grow and, grow your social media page, you may pay for ads and things of that nature. But that's nothing compared to, trying to buy a ad on TV or trying to, purchase a billboard. But, grow that social media following, man. Market yourself like no other. You should, whatever field that you're in, but in this field, go out and watch basketball games. Go out and show your face so people know who you are. And, tell them, hey, man, follow me on social media at blah, blah, blah. Those types of things. And, being around and people seeing you and getting to actually meet you and kind of get a feel for who you are, that'll get people to trust your brand a lot more. My next point on turning your passion into a business is being able to do your research. Please do your research. Do your research about business. Figure out what things you may need to do in that particular field. In this field, you don't necessarily need a certificate, but you would need an LLC or some type of business title. But I'll definitely dig into the business titles, the LLCs, the sole proprietorships. I'll dig into that, a little bit later. But just make sure that you're studying business and make sure you're doing your research on business. Make sure you're doing your research on that particular field. This field is basketball. Like I said before, it's basketball. And it's learning how to develop players. And in order to do that, you have to study the game. You have to watch game film. You have to break down players. You have to break down individual skills and moves and body motions and, how things work and getting into the mind of a basketball player. With me, my experience helped me. My experience as a player for all those years, helped me to kind of translate a little bit easier into this business. But that doesn't guarantee success in this business because when I started, I still had to put in the work. I had to learn the terminology. I had to really learn how to build a different player other than myself, which, a lot of things came more natural for me. So for me now, being able to break everything down to, help a 5-year-old understand it, that just made me so much better as a trainer on top of what I achieved as a basketball player. And my last step for today's video is to develop quality content. Don't just throw everything on your social media page. I made that mistake in the very beginning. And, I was just throwing stuff up there, trying to be consistent, trying to get people, to see my page. But at some point, my wife was just like, babe, this just doesn't look appealing. It doesn't look professional. It doesn't look like I would go and train with you. And I had to I had to probably delete like 500 posts and kind of start over and just, post really good quality content. And, the more you get that quality content, then the more you can start posting. Now I post probably every single day because I've kind of mastered, or somewhat mastered, how to post and how to, create that quality content that people will want to see. And I know the next question about, how much the content is going to cost. You can use your phone. I suggest, using an iPhone. I suggest using the newest iPhone, which has, options of 4K, 30 frames per second, and the highest quality is 4K, 60 frames per second. I think I have an 11 Pro Max. I think that's the greatest phone to use right now to create some really good quality content for yourself, as well as using, I use this app called Video Shop to edit my videos. And I think when I bought it, it was probably like $5 from the App Store. But, you can use an Android, you can use an iPhone, but just figure out ways to create your own content. When you start, creating your own content, now you're cutting down the fees of your business. And you don't want to have to, go pay $25, $30, $50, $100, for all your posts. But man, I hope these tips, this part one helped you guys, help these guys that want to start these businesses, these basketball training companies, and don't know where to start, whether it be full-time or part-time, or, just, a little side job, a little side hustle 1 day a week, just being able to figure out, how to do this. And you never know what can happen if you put the right energy and effort to it. Like I started off, it was a part-time thing for me, and it was just so fun, and it was just so enjoyable. And it was just so enjoyable for me to see, the young people getting better. And, it developed into this deep passion that I had, even more than playing the game of basketball, which I loved so much. This is just the beginning of what I'm going to be bringing to you guys. I'm going to go really, really, really in depth about all the details, from start to finish in my company, man. So I hope that you all are watching. I hope that you all get something from it. And just know that this translates to every field. Everything that I'm mentioning on these lists moving forward, it translates to every business, man. So make sure y'all tune in. And please, 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 I'm trying to continue to grow this channel. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, please show some love, share it to your friends, share it to your family. Just show some love to, what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to bring to you guys, man. I appreciate all the love thus far, but always remember, God is love. God loves you. I love you. Chavis Crew, I'm out.